Yeah, recording. Good.
Yeah. So our first question is that poor pigs. There are buckets of liquid where exactly one of them will contain the poison, and we have to figure out which one is containing the poison. And we have to feed some of the poor pigs to the liquid to see whether they'll die or not. Unfortunately, you have only minutes to test to determine which bucket is poisonous. And you can feed the pigs according to these steps. Choose some live pigs to feed, and for each pig choose which bucket to feed it. The pig will consume all the chosen buckets simultaneously and will take no time. Wait for minutes to die. You may not feed any other pigs during this time, and after minutes to die, minutes have passed, any pigs that have been fed to the poisonous bucket will die and others will survive, and repeat this process until you run out of the time. So you have buckets, minutes to die, minutes to test. You have to return the minimum number of pigs needed to figure out which bucket is poisonous within the allotted time. So 15 minutes. So at max 4 tests you can do, and the number of buckets given to you is 1,000, right? So what will happen? In like this is 0, 1, 2, 3. So I mean 15 minute slots it is, right? So you can make peak one sit here, and if we what do you say
Survives.
survives here, then same peak will go to the one, right?
Mhm.
Two and then three. So if at this point also you find that the peak survives, that means in the fifth, because you have 15 minutes only, right? And it is sure that they'll die. I mean, one will contain the poison. Then in the last step, definitely uh, the poison is present, right?
Mm, I don't know because see, you are bucketing based on zero
15.
is like 15 minutes, right? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
So he will take 15 minutes and he survives, he will go here. Next 15. Again he survives, next 15. Again he survives, next 15. So you have consumed all the 60 minutes and still the pig is surviving.
mm-hmm.
That means he'll definitely, after that he will die, right? I mean, the poison is there.
No, but you are assuming here you have only five buckets, right? Now
Because of
buckets.
the timing, we are assuming that, right? Because 15 minute slots are there. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
No, no.
Can
I'm also
okay.
thinking loud.
Mhm.
So the way you are saying, you are assuming because you are saying it's five buckets. Um, so actually, so the five, whatever they talk about is like they need that many number of pigs to do the test, right? That is what I think they are saying. So because it might so happen like if the way we are saying, the pig might survive even for the fifth one because there is no condition saying like that, right? He has to expire on the fifth one. Correct.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was it, it's very
Okay.
weird problem. Yeah, it's
Puzzle
not
kind
the
of it. Yeah.
right, right.
I was going through one example for what you say, 5 plus 5, 125. Okay. I mean, 125 buckets are there. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And timing is these two are same only, 15 and 60 minutes. So what they were doing, they made in every row what will have 0, 1, 2, 3. I mean, and 1, 4 was, I mean, 4 for 15 minute slots, and fifth one is the extra I'm taking. And column wise also they were going 1, 2, 3 till 4. So this is a 25 cross 25, right? I mean 5 cross
Okay. Mm-hmm.
5 cross 5. This is a 3D they were taking, so it becomes one. I'll explain little bit after some time. So what they were telling,
Mm-hmm.
here number of pigs will require will do that I'm trying to prove. So they are uh, one pig will vertically eat. Single pig will vertically eat row wise. Another will eat vertically column wise.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say best case, if at this point the one pig which is eating, I mean drinking like this, if it survives, it will again drink the second row. If it survives, it will drink the this row, third, and here also if it survives, that means I'm sure that he will die here in the fourth, because pig has to die and we have only 4 tests, right? Because 15 minute slots are there. And now, so you got the row number in which the pig will die, yeah, but you don't know where it will die. So I mean, you need to have that column number also in this row at which column he is dying. So the other pig will eat horizontally. I mean, he will eat horizontally. He will also, I mean, drink horizontally. Sorry, this is vertically. And let's say at this point of time, the pig didn't die even here, and it died here. So this intersection point will give you at which point the pig died. At the fourth row in the fourth column.
So you are trying to say that you need 5 pigs in this
One
case.
extra.
5 pigs to prove that you can handle 125 cases. Is that what
Yes.
you're trying to say?
Two pigs we are. One, I mean, they are simultaneously going. One pig is simultaneously going through the row, and other at the same time he is going to the vertical. Now, when both of are done, then they will go here and they'll go here.
Okay. So you are saying you need only 2 pigs with 5 buckets. Then you will be able to, oh, okay, not 5 buckets.
Yeah, 5. I mean, 5 cross 5, 25 buckets are here, right? And
Okay.
this is the 2D. And if you go in a 3D, like tensor-like shape, I mean, cuboid shape, so 5 more in the depth you can consider. So 125 such buckets. You can 125 buckets given time and given minutes. 2 pigs are required to identify whether what do you say? Minimum number of pigs required is 2 to identify whether poison is there or not within allotted time.
2, or the output is 5, right?
I mean, this is not the example. I'm saying another fix. Yes, I mean other one. Another example I've taken. Only the buckets I'm restricting to 125. I'm completely not sure. Yeah, I mean, like.
No, yeah, that is slightly making also.
So it's like visualizing n cross dimension matrix and then finding the element using all the n coordinates.
Intersection, yeah, the intersection point will give you that this is the point where.
Yeah, so there will be n coordinates. That is, n pigs will determine which is the poisonous bucket.
But how are you like? How do you know that the pig died? Like.
Yeah, because you have only 4. I mean, you have at max 4 tests you can do, right? Because 15 minutes time is there for each test, and total time is 60. Beyond that, you can't go, right? Now, I'm considering the worst case, like at every 15 minutes the pig is surviving. So 4 tests it will pass, right? I mean, 15 minutes this, 15. So he survived everywhere. Then definitely. Okay, and he didn't die within 1 hour, then definitely, and answer is that it's guaranteed that he will die. That means somewhere in this row he is gonna die, right? In this column, not the row. Yeah.
You are saying your input bucket is 25, but still your minutes to die is 15 and minutes to test is also 60. Correct. So then how much will be the output? In that case, you are saying that you will require 2 pigs.
2 pigs, yeah. So 1 pig will go, I mean, 2 pigs I'll take simultaneously pick, and one I'll allow him to eat vertically, another I'll allow him to eat horizontally. And both will finish at the same time. They are mentioned here. Simultaneous, it will not take no time. The first number point, if you see in the note.
Okay, so if that is true, so in that case, if I increase my number of buckets to 625, okay, so still I can finish within 2 pigs, right?
No. You can't, because.
So because then you are saying 1 pig always goes horizontally and other goes always vertically.
Yeah, but 4 tests you can do only till this point. If you have 2625, if you are telling, that means 25 rows, 25 columns. But I don't have those many slots. I have only 4 slots, right?
Okay.
15,
okay,
15.
No problem. Fair point. So in that
Hmm.
case, then how are you going to make it for 625?
Okay, so 625, if you are telling, if I'm considering 2D, not 3D. Okay, so 625 means 25 cross 25, you will have that,
Mm-hmm.
what you say,
Mm-hmm.
the square matrix, right?
Mm-hmm. So you will have another dimension to that.
Yeah, I think then you'll have to change, you'll have to reduce this.
Okay, so it depends actually on the number of tasks which we can perform. Like the number of tasks will be the total time for the test divided by total time to die. So
But
it will depend on the task number of tasks which we can perform, and then we can decide which end dimension we need to choose.
but for, okay, given this the time and this, and for 625 also the answer will be 2, I think.
No,
Because
for
5
625,
tests are, okay, go ahead.
for 625 it will be 3. Since at most at a time, no, a pick can take at a time any number of buckets, but at most the pick can do four tasks, I guess, in the given time.
4
So
tasks. Yeah. So
I think
if
you
you,
might need 4 pigs, not 3, right? The way
but
Shashank showing, if you
uh,
just scale it, that makes sense, right? If you have 4 pigs, maybe there is 4 dimensions, because within 3 dimensions you will still cover only 125.
then 4 dimensions. But how will you get 4 dimensions? X, Y, and Z. What is the fourth one?
Yeah, we are just, this
that,
is just
yeah,
indicative. Okay, we can
yeah.
just assume. So there is an imaginary dimension. Okay, so that will be for the 4th pig. The way he's working, that's a different story. Right. So I like the idea what you're saying. Okay, one pig always goes in either horizontal or vertical. Right. If we just consider 2D, that is the way, because we have only 2D. So if you make it 4D, then it will be 4 pigs, right?
Oh,
To some
on
extent,
each
it makes right.
on each direction you will pass the pig.
Yeah, it's like one dimension will have a pig.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
if you
yeah.
imagine that way, that makes sense. Hmm. So only when we have 5 pigs, then we should be able to finish. If we just multiply again, we'll have to multiply again by 5 in that case, so it will be more than
Then
625.
I don't know about fourth dimension here, but sounds well. I mean, in all the 4 directions you will pass the pigs. But what
I'm
I'm
just
saying,
scaling on the same solution what you are discussing, trying to scale
yeah,
on.
so I scaled it to 2D and 3D. I mean, 25 for 2D and one more dimension I added. Okay, yeah. Then even if I make it 125 was 3D, 5 you multiplied made it to 625, and again 5 if you multiply, then one more pig will increase in that case, right?
Yeah, so we will be able to actually manage 1,000. It will be more
Hmm.
than that, but 1,000 buckets should be fine. So that's fair point. But if
But
instead of
again,
considering 5, if we take it for only 4, because minutes to test is 60, right?
uh,
So if we take it
okay.
4, so will that not be sufficient?
Yeah,
So
that is
for
what I was thinking, because
so
after
two
4 you
buckets
go.
will actually two pigs will actually finish 16, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then if you keep on multiplying by 4 always, right? For so if we come to 5 pigs, you will get almost 1,000, right? 16 into 4, 64.
64.
64 into 16. Okay, it won't be 1,000, but slightly more, I think, right?
64 into 16 is 960, around more than 960. So approx 1000 it will. I mean 960 plus 64, 1024, I think. No, no.
Okay, 4 is to 4, right?
1024, yeah.
Not 1024. 4 is to 4 into 2 is to 8, it will be, right? Four,
So 2 to about 10 is 1024. So
four,
more than 900 something it will be. Yeah.
4. Okay, multiplied by again 4. Yeah, it comes to 1024.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, that's
But
right.
what I was thinking, I mean, if I configure
Negative
till
5,
this
okay.
point only, if I find at this point it's not the pig has not died, so whatsoever dimension you increase either in this or this, the result will always be one more minute. I don't know, like it's not that clear or
Right. Okay, so there is one more explanation also, and if you go, if you can you please go to this discussions,
yeah, sure.
and let me check. I think in the discussions, if you go, I think it's a hot tab. Yeah, this one. And if you go
This
down,
one? Okay.
yeah, so this is for the single round, whatever they have described here. But if you go down in the comment section, it talks about something. This, yeah, this one. Can you just expand on the read more there? Okay, and then if you go down in this comment to the update, what? Yeah, this one. Okay, there what is talking almost similar what you were discussing. Okay.
Okay.
So it might not exactly be the same, but can you bit scroll down so you can have this the whole update thought? No, no, scroll down. I mean the
Okay.
other way.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got.
yeah. So this one, if you look at this, what they have described. So what they are saying is, if I divide buckets into group of four now, and the buckets are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then
Yeah.
assuming we have two pigs at a time. Okay, so it's like exactly the way you are saying, correct?
Both the yeah.
Yeah, so pig one actually always goes row wise, and pig two goes always a column wise.
Okay.
Or maybe it's the other way. I'm sorry, yeah. So pig one goes the column wise, pig two goes the row wise, right? 0, 4, 8,
Yeah, yeah.
and
That's why 04812 it is. Pig 2
yeah,
is vertical.
right. And
Mhm.
then same thing, yeah, they have made some, there are some incorrect things, but it is almost the same what you are saying. So in this case, if we see uh, the way you described, so two pigs can handle 16 buckets.
Yeah.
And therefore, if we want more than like buckets are more than this 16, so accordingly, if we keep on adding one dimensions of four, a group of four, so then we should be able to get to that. So every time, if it's like now here it is only 16, so two pigs. So if we add one more, so you will have to multiply 16 by 4, so that many buckets it can handle. So at the end, in our case, we had 1000 buckets. So if I take 5 pigs, 5 multiplied by 4 means 4
20.
is to 5, right? Or something like that, or 5 is to 4, yeah. So it will be
So,
at least not 5, sorry. I'm making a mistake there. So if we keep on adding 4 for each time, 4 into 4 will be 16, 16 into 4, and then again 2 times 4, then it is going to be 1024. So we will be handling that many buckets.
1000 here.
So
So,
just taking this analogy here,
It's
right?
4 into 4, 16. 16 into 4 we are
16.
taking, or
Yeah,
This is three
16 into 4.
dimension till now. Yeah.
so how did it become 1028?
Okay,
One more.
16 into 4 will be 64, right?
256 into
64 multiplied by 4 will be
Oh,
256, right? Yeah, multiplied by 4 will be 1024. Yeah.
and one four multi. So that means one dimension, two, three, four, five. Five dimensions you are taking, right?
Right. So
And
now,
launching.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if that is the correct part, what we understood. So now the only thing remains is the round one, round two, round three, what they have described here. Okay, and the two pigs, if they can satisfy this bucket round, whatever it is, okay, then the whole problem is clear. Correct.
so when
Yeah.
you say it's columns, why is it 0, 4, 8, and 12?
That is
Yeah.
rows.
You came 4, 5, 6, 7. Next will be what? 8 now.
Yeah.
That is what they are trying: 0, 4, 8, and then 12. So he's feeding the, I mean, pig will go in this direction row wise, and another pig will go vertical this way, and the intersection wherever, that will give you the coordinate of.
I'm not getting this concept. Like, why are we using these two pigs in row column fashion? We can just use one pig.
How will you?
One,
But if you go through row wise, how will you got to know? Let's say that pig died. Let's say in this row, but how will you know at which position he died? What
no,
point
no,
of
that
time he
that is
died?
right. Okay. So if we go above in the same explanation, so they have described for the one pig. Actually, we should go there, right? Not
Let me
one pig. It is three pigs. Eight. Okay.
let me clear the screen first.
Sure. I
Oh,
think
yeah, go ahead.
so. If you go to the top, where actually they start explaining the main, this one only in the same discussion. If you scroll up, we came directly to the comments, right? So if you can go to the top, the main
Oh,
explanation part, yeah,
okay.
yeah, this one actually, if you go through it, it was slightly confusing to me, but it might make sense. uh, I think Abhishek was also talking on the same lines, right? The bucket
Yeah,
eights and one round, so they were using three pigs. So this is what something, so you'll have to think about it like that. So if you take one pig, it will be how many buckets he can actually survive.
there.
So
Yeah.
based on that, you scale one, two, three, and but this is only a single dimension. But then if you add two dimensions, the way you were saying, then it actually scales much faster.
Yeah, but when you added, I mean, up to three, I thought, but when you added 4, 5 dimensions, no, then like we can generalize it for n dimensions. I think then
Yeah,
more than
something like
three.
that. Yeah, I'm also not very clear about this. So, but I just looking at this discussion.
What is the drawing below? The some more explanation. Oh, 4 3 4 3 4 2 1.
Encoded, I mean, binary is used.
Uh,
Binary encodings, yeah. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So what they have done is, if there are eight buckets and there is only one round. So in that case, if we have three pigs, we can actually satisfy with three pigs with eight buckets. And how the way it's done is like the first pig will actually consume four buckets. Okay, that is what actually the line shows. And the second pig actually consumes two buckets at a time. Okay, and therefore you see there is a gap between the pig two, the first line and the second line. So he's always consuming two buckets, and the third pig actually consumes only a single bucket. So every time when you are consuming a bucket, and then it says like if he dies on that, so that will count to one, and therefore you have 1 1 1 because he died at the first bucket, right? So then if you look at here, the pig three, he did not die, so therefore it is zero over there. So if we actually take in the bit form, right, so we can actually represent number till 8, and therefore from 0 0 1 2 3 7, so there will be 8 different combinations, and therefore we can satisfy 8 buckets, correct? And if you slightly go down, if you scroll down, then it's talking about here in this case, okay, we take 2 rounds. So each pig actually can survive one death, if we imagine that way. Right. So in that case, he's saying take round one and round two. So with only two pigs, actually we can satisfy nine buckets, but it is more than nine. It will be 16. Correct. So that is the way they are scaling. Okay. Correct. So round one is for if even if the pig dies, then the same pig can be used in round two also. So the round one is the almost slightly similar, but in this case they are giving three buckets for a pig. So the first pig will have three buckets, then he will leave another three, and then he will go for another three. Okay, and the second pig actually is only taking one bucket at a time. Okay, so therefore you have 2 rounds there. Okay, so if you have 2 rounds, so the last bucket actually see that is both of them are zero. So if both of them die before you come to this last bucket, so then the last bucket will have poison or not poison based on the whatever the pigs are remaining. Correct.
Yeah. Or even till nth minus one, if it is survives, then we are
Yeah.
sure that after that it will die only.
This is, and therefore actually you look at this description and then you go to that 4 what you are saying. Okay, whatever the comments were, what we just saw, we can scale it to 4 by 4. Okay, that will be that 2 dimension, and then we keep on adding one dimension. In general, I could, on a high level, I could understand this
Yeah.
way. Yeah, maybe anyone can add on this.
So
I
we can
thought
start with less number of buckets and then see how many picks are required. And then we can generalize, like if n buckets are given and we can do the test m number of times, then we can formulate any formula for calculating the minimum number of picks. Then only it will make sense. Otherwise, I don't think for any general case, if we take and then decide, it will be feasible here.
Yeah, so you'll have to assume some numbers, right?
Yeah, so we can start with less number of buckets and then keep increasing the bucket and then optimally choose minimum number of picks to select from those number of buckets.
Yeah, makes sense. So we'll have to take some examples, explain to the interviewer. Correct.
yeah.
Yeah. And then we just have a simple formula to actually implement, right?
Hmm. Looks like egg drop. I'm not egg drop. That kind of
No,
puzzle it is.
not egg drop actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when I saw the
Mm-hmm.
question first time, I thought it is similar to egg drop or dynamic programming.
Mm-hmm.
The final, the tags which is there in the question, it is only maths, so
Maths,
it
yeah.
is not at all related to DP.
It's not a normal math. I mean, logic are there. Math is not there. Looks like right.
Yeah.
More than, yeah.
Something to do with that quantum. Okay. I don't want to go there, right?
Yeah.
The quantum bit, qubits. Is it in the quantum bit? Is
Yeah,
almost similar to that? Qubits?
yeah, where you flip after every what do you say? You change the cycle, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Number of cells between water on particular figure with 2 p 3 rounds. Every peak can die in per second. Okay. Yeah, I think we will take it. This is like at higher level we got at least, right?
Yeah. So yeah, the way you started with, okay,
Mm.
both of you, even Abhishek agreeing to that almost, right? You start with the simple one, okay, and then keep on adding. Now you said like you have 4, keep on adding dimensions, and then you get the number of pixels. So it makes logically sense also, right?
So no, yeah.
Yeah, because we are only using 4 ones because we know we have 60 minutes. Correct.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we are actually dividing in 15, 15. And 15 is why we are dividing by 15 because 15 is the time to die. So you'll
Every
have
test.
to divide,
Test.
yeah. So in the 4 buckets, and then you keep on scaling it for every pig. At least that should be an okay for
Fine.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Maybe
Later.
we again enhance on these type of problem later at some session, and then we get better.
What hints they are giving? What if you only have one shot?
Yeah, so it is like what you have one shot, example 4 buckets, 15 to die. Therefore, you take 4 buckets, right?
Yeah.
Then he's saying how many states we can generate with X pigs and T states. So like the same, so almost like the dimensions one is talking, correct?
But yeah, linear and then 2D and then taking it to 3D.
So he is talking about T test and 15 minutes to test. Okay, so then we'll have 4 tests, right, for X pigs and 4 tests.
Tests.
So how
For
much
one.
states we can form? Yeah, so the
For
dimensions can be our states, correct?
yeah, the
So
yeah
somewhat it
dimension.
correlates to the same thing what we discussed. Yeah.
This is
yeah.
real maths. Some binomial power of x you have to calculate of it, which is greater than 1. Oh, same. I think he's formulating it right.
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
t will be
this is
4. 4 is to x will equal to greater than or equal to 9.
where was it on? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so you see, even looking at the hints, it is almost similar, but only the last hint when it says t plus 1. Okay. So for us, the way we were doing is we were actually adding pigs one by one, and our t tests were t was 4 in our case, correct? So t for each t, if we add one pig, so it is going to be t raised to x. So in our case, it was 4 is to 5, which was getting 1024, which was giving us 1024. So it was satisfying the number of buckets. But if you look at the hint 3, he's saying t plus 1 raised to 4.
So t plus 1 because in 4 test if pig doesn't die, in 5th test he will die. That's why he's taking 1 extra.
Right. So in that case, so 5 raised to x. So in that case, will the number of pigs not decrease in this case?
5 raised to the power x is equal to n is what? 1025.
Okay, so let's see. Now, if x is the pig's number, so if I say 5 multiplied by 5, multiplied by 5, okay, multiplied by 5, and multiplied by 5. Okay. So
It
in
will
that
be.
It will
case,
be
it comes to
625.
3125.
Yeah,
Mhm.
625 into 5.
Yeah, so we can still go for 3125 buckets, right? It means.
There, yeah.
Okay. So either you take a 4 dimensions, but if we take 4, that won't work if the number of buckets increases, correct?
Slight, yeah.
Yeah. So if someone gives us buckets like 3000, so we will tend to take one more pig in that case. But that will be incorrect. So we will have to take it this way then. So the way you started with 5 buckets, okay, that
Yeah.
was okay, I would say, right?
Mm-hmm. 1 extra.
Uh-huh.
So number of test plus 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Actually,
that it
how
will be worst case. You go ahead.
so in case of three buckets and two pigs, how are we deciding which bucket is poisonous?
We don't have to find that, right? We just have to see how many pigs are required. So how many ways we can do that.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so we need to minimize the number of pigs if we want to guess which bucket is poisonous. But we don't have to determine which bucket is poisonous. We just need to minimize the number of pigs which will be used in the experiment.
So is there any limit
Yep.
that is given for the pigs that they can like try these many buckets at a time?
The
No,
more minimum is always good. We don't want to harm more animals. Anyway, we're doing it.
Yeah, otherwise we could use the number of buckets itself as the number of pigs. Then
Yep.
in one test we can determine which bucket is poisonous.
Oh, so that way it becomes that egg dropping problem.
Yeah, yeah. This is why if we see the problem at first, then it appears as if we can do this with dynamic programming, but it has no relation to DPA.
Yeah, no
more
one
less.
has solved also, correct? No one in the discussion talking about DP. None of them.
A company might be Google. I don't know, or where was it?
I don't care,
I
but
think
it was an interesting problem.
I think there is a standard puzzle where the number of tests to be performed will be one, and then we need to determine how many picks we can use if the number of buckets is given. That is a standard puzzle.
Okay.
So we can perform only one test, and then we need to determine which bucket is poisonous. So that photo which was used for the when 8 buckets were there and 3 picks were used,
Mm-hmm.
that can be the
Okay,
relation
the
there.
first one. Okay.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay.
So on Geeks for Geeks, I guess this puzzle is there where the number of tests to be performed is only one.
Really?
Which is the
Yeah,
problem? Share the link.
Can you share that link now here? Can we just go through it if possible?
I have to check, but I
Okay.
read the article. I'll
Okay, no
find it.
problem.
I'll post in Discord.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
This statement is awesome.
Hmm?
And they've got a lot many of votes also.
Yeah, that's fine. Can't help, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah. So what?
So at least what is the no? You have a solution, right? At least we go through the
Yeah.
solution.
Just same like the formula what they have mentioned, t plus 1. I mean, while minute to test and minute to die. So you'll get 4 here, right? 60 by 15. So 4 tests you did and plus 1 extra I'm doing 5, and 5 raised to the power pigs less than equal to bucket. Till that point you keep on increasing the number of pigs. Like this equation, third equation only here.
Okay. Yeah.
The number of tests plus extra pigs greater than equal to. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
So instead of finding the power, you actually doing it the while loop way.
Pigs will jump. Yeah.
That is what the solution is, right? Yeah, implementation.
Most of the places, same thing I have seen.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep, then we can move to next.
Yeah.
Okay, this is also unique. So largest plus sign. So 2D grid is given and the grid is like 002 last cell, top left, I mean bottom right corner. Now every cell contains 1 except those cells in the given list, mines which are 0. Okay, so what is the largest axis aligned plus sign of ones contained in the grid? You have to return the order of the plus sign, and if there is none, you return 0. Now they have defined what is this? An axis aligned plus sign of ones of order k has some center. Okay, center will have the 1 along with the 4 arms of the length k minus 1 going up, down, right, left, right, made up of 1. And this is demonstrated in the diagrams below. Note that there could be zeros and ones beyond the arms of plus sign. And only the relevant area of the plus sign is checked for the ones. Yeah. So this is one order only because you have center. I mean, center 1 is there and you don't have any, in all the 4 directions is occupied by 0, right? Now, if you look at this, so this is like center. If you take this, then on including this on the right side, you have 2. Bottom you have left side you have 2, top you have 2, and left you have 2, down you have 2. So this is order 2 plus sign, right? And coming to 3 again, if this is your center, so this is top 3, bottom 3, left 3, right 3. Yeah. And now here these are the points where zeros will be present. I mean fourth row, second column, this one. So if you take this, the bold ones, this is again once 2 center. I mean order should be 2 because 2 bottom, left, right. I mean all the 4 directions is checking, and this will be like 1 1 1 1, right? So because no zeros are there, it's an empty one. Should be like this. So, but okay, then what will be the center here?
It's only 1, right? So any one bit, one number can be a 1 order.
In itself, okay.
Yeah.
But okay, k minus 1 they are telling, right? So you expect 0 this side, nothing.
Okay, as long as you find 1, zeros are not actually important. What is important is how much ones you can go, right? For making an order. As long as you are able to form that many number of ones, that pattern. Okay, so then you are good. Whether it's on the border or whether it's at the edge, no problem.
Issues in that. Okay.
Yeah. You should be able to go in all the 4 directions with the same number of ones.
Yeah. So what about mines as I mean right at the 0 itself we have in 1 plus 1 matrix. Yeah.
Correct. So 0 0, both of the mines are 0.
Yeah.
So that a single mine is 0 in this case. So we have 0.
And you scroll up to example 1.
Sure. Oh,
Let's scroll up a little bit. Let's see. It
what's going?
it can be
Yeah.
multiple center, right? The one they put it in bold is one center, but you can pick any, like that one or the one, that's one can be. Can it be? Yeah. So
Yeah,
if that one, wouldn't that be 3 or 2 because there's only one above, right?
No. Yeah. Okay. 2. Right.
Yeah, it can be 1 above, 1 below, but it cannot be 3 because then you will fail on the vertical again.
So
What is
3 on the left, 3 on the right, and 3 in the bottom, but only 2 above.
Yeah. Right. We
What
can
is the
have
point
3
of
bottom, but no 2. Okay. Yeah.
mentioning these mines then?
So mines,
this-
what he says is this is the row and the column. So he's given a coordinate. So fourth row and second column. If you look at the fourth row and second column, he has marked as 0.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why they call mine?
Yeah. That I mean, they could have
There's
simply given
meaning
it
that it doesn't.
matrix as 0.
Yeah, I mean, that is a dead spot kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, that I got dead spot it is, but and why did they took this as an example only? They could have shown the what Leon was saying. That could also be.
Yeah, it is mentioned there. One of them is marked in bold. There can be multiple answers, but the final output will be same since we need to maximize the size of the plus.
Correct.
Yeah.
So mines are mines, yeah.
Better they could have given a matrix and then put 0. Right. I don't know why they're increasing the parameters.
Maybe when actually the problem was formulated, it was with some context, right? So that kept on going ahead, yeah.
For the one above, in the example, the answer would be 4, right? If you scroll up. Yeah, for third one, order 3. It should be 4, right, on the answer?
No. It will be 3. Because you are taking that, right? Including this, you have to go to the top. So 3 only you can go. Or am I wrong?
Right. So
Yeah.
K minus 1 they're taking. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, you mean the half length plus the middle?
Yeah. For all, you have to consider that middle wherever you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
You should do the brute force, like do the breadth first search or BFS and see which is and keep the shortest one.
Okay. So you are saying start with each and every cell.
Yeah, we need to start at every cell and try to, get the the maximum out of the minimum.
Maximum. So we should actually go for DFS, right? In that case, only do 4 directions always. And then if you reach to the end and then find that.
Yeah, but doing DFS, then I was thinking using BFS so that, as soon as it hit like the edge or 0, then we can stop.
Okay. That also makes sense, yeah. So you are quickly coming out of it instead of...
So anyways, we have to traverse in the 4 directions. So either of DFS and BFS can be used.
Yeah.
And we need to take the minimum length from all the 4 directions.
Yeah.
Then BFS is better, no? If minimum.
Yeah, that depends on implementation.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
This would be n cube, right?
Should
be. The brute force is n cube.
Okay.
N cube or more than n cube?
Should be 4 raised to the power n, because for every cell 4 directions you are checking, right? 4 calls, DFS calls will be made. So 4 raised to the power n square.
So you are going at every cell and
4 directions for every cell.
Yeah, but the size is at most n. So it will be.
Okay, so n cube is fine, right? Okay.
Yeah, so it will be n square into 2n. Since
right.
Both direction it will go n plus n. So the final will be 2n cube, but n cube will be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is actually optimized since we are not using any space here for
Which one?
pre-processing part. Yeah, the brute force one, since we are not using any pre-processing here. So we don't use any extra space here. But again, when we optimize this, then we need to use extra space. Then only
Yeah,
we
kind
can.
of a prefix sum, I think,
Yeah.
right? If I
Yeah.
know the number of ones to the left of my particular one and the number of ones to like the
Right.
above me and
Yeah.
right also,
Then
so that
bottom.
I can right, all the four
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. So minimum of all the 4 directions and plus 1 if the value at this index is 1.
Yeah, half of the minimum, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So you are saying that you do a prefix sum, and then
Prefix. Okay, so I don't know if we call it prefix or not. So
Yeah. So
the aim is to store the number of ones to the left of my current one.
Mhm.
Okay, so if I have
yeah.
a
So
like, yeah, go on, Abhishek.
yeah. So we can store the continuous number of ones in all the 4 directions for any coordinate, and then while checking for the final answer, we can uh, choose the minimum of all the 4 directions, since one will be prefix, other will be suffix in the row, I guess, and in column again it will be prefix and suffix, and we need to choose all the minimum of the 4 values if the current value is 1. If it is not 1, then we can just move on and check if we get any index with value 1.
Current
I
value you are
guess.
saying center.
Yeah, if we need to check for plus only if the current value is 1.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
I'm going
center.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you pre-process it, but like where do you store those data?
Yeah,
What
again,
would be
so
the
for this
structure
part,
you use to store the data?
again, we need to use extra memory here.
Okay, okay. Before going there, okay. So what was Harshit approach? Is that exactly the same what Abhishek discussing, Harshit?
Yeah. I mean, he's wording it better, Abhishek.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
so
it's
that
like
was
you find the suffix and prefix for both.
With the
yeah,
sites.
suffix. Yeah, you mean the number of ones to the right, if that suffix means.
Okay,
Yeah.
no problem. So Abhishek, can you annotate that? So
Do you want
Okay,
to
so
share this?
yeah,
okay.
so I will share my editor here.
Mhm.
Share.
Yeah. So this is the, yeah, is it visible
Yes.
or do I need to make it large, I guess?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. So this is the first test case, and this will be the matrix which I have constructed. So at coordinate 4, comma 2, the value is 0.
Mhm.
So for each of the index, uh, I need to find the continuous number of ones to the left, then continuous number of ones from right side, then continuous number of ones from top, and continuous number of ones from bottom. So
Mhm.
this is why I have made 4 vectors here. Uh, so this is the column 1. So column 1 will be uh, for column in, I guess, top to bottom. So it will store all the uh, continuous series of ones and keep adding the values if we encounter anyone. So for example, this is the column 1 vector. So imagine going from top to bottom and then adding the number, if it is 1, to the previous value. So uh, here, since we don't have any previous value, so it will be 1. Now if I come to, okay, is this column? Okay, this is column. So if I come to the second row, So for the second row, for this index, I know I have a previous one here. So I will add the previous element and I will add 1 to the previous element and store it. So in this way, I can move filling this table. Now this is from top to bottom. Now I need to go from bottom to top, which is C2. So C2 is from bottom to top. So for example, here it is 0. So here we don't have to add any number, but since we are going from bottom to top, the numbers will get added from this index. So here it is 1, then here 2, 3, 4. So this is for the column. Now again we need to do this same similar thing for row wise. So R1 I have used for left to right and R2 I have used for right to left. So imagine okay. So imagine at a particular index. So let me copy this original one. Okay, so imagine I am at this index. So for this index, since the value is 1, I know this can be one of the possible cases of the largest plus sign. So for this, I need to calculate the continuous series of ones in from left to right, and then continuous series of 1 from right to left, then again continuous series of from top to bottom, and from bottom to top. So for this index, we can see the minimum value will be 1. Uh, so all the 4 values will be 2, then this 2, then this 2, and this will be 1. So minimum will be 1, and I need to add 1 to the minimum since uh, the center is also a part of the plus sign. So this is what I did. So in the implementation, first I generated all the 4 matrix, uh, and then uh, I know that if I am at the boundary, then I don't have to choose from all the 4 directions. So this is why I have not started from the boundary, but I have started from the uh, not boundary index. So this is why I started from 1 and go till n minus 1. And now for uh, any index which has value 1 or greater than 1, then I have taken minimum from all the 4 directions, and then I have added 1 and taken the max of all the plus sign. So this is what I did. But this is very this is not optimize space efficient since we are using 4 extra matrix for 2 prefix values and 2 suffix values. So this is why I don't think this is so much optimized approach here.
Yeah,
Okay.
good idea.
This is very good actually, yeah. So
Lot of hard work.
only thing, why you actually on the base case you are saying you're taking 1, but you could
Yeah.
have gone.
Yeah. So for that, either this may happen that the matrix is filled with 0 in the middle, and one of the values is 1 at the boundary. So in that case, the answer will be 1. This is why I added a extra base case here, where if any of the boundary value is 1, then I set this check base case equal to true, and then while initializing the answer variable, I just checked if the check base is triggered or not. If it is triggered, then I will initialize the value from 1.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Can you just repeat this part? So you're saying that
So
if the boundary you have a 1, then you are
yeah,
making your answer variable as 1.
yeah.
Is
So
it?
answer will start from what and not 0. If any of the boundary variable is 1, and if we are at boundary variable, that index cannot be a. I guess it will not. It will not have any plus sign of more than
One.
one value. I guess.
It will
Yeah.
not qualify as the center,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It will not qualify as center. So this
Yeah.
is why we can start from 1.
Okay.
If
Okay. You mean okay.
yeah,
The base case kind of. Okay.
yeah,
But this is also not bad and optimized, correct? Only thing is
yeah,
you could have reduced using the 4. You could have done on the same matrix over and over again, right?
yeah. I guess we can, but I was not sure with the implementation part since
Mhm.
we need to choose the minimum for. So we need to go from all the index which are not the boundary. So if I keep changing the values for suffix and prefix, then I might not get the optimal answer here. So
Yeah.
this is why,
I think he's right. Santosh is right. So what you do is you first find the minimum for
yeah,
the number of ones to the left.
yeah,
Okay. Then you do the same thing for number of ones to the right. If you find anything lesser than what you have seen before, then you would update it. So similarly, you will do it for top and bottom.
yeah. But I was not sure if it will work or not. In some of the cases, I doubt it will. But I'm not sure about this. This is why I skipped that implementation.
Yeah.
Even this implementation is
Okay.
pretty
Heavy.
complex.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did this in one loop, but actually we can do this in like 4 loops we can use for calculating the values for all the 4 metrics here.
Yeah, it clear, easier to understand
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. It's visually very
You,
perfect. But it might have passed your lead code also, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it passes. Yeah. Good.
so in this one, the space complexity would be n to the n cube, right?
No.
You need like the n by
No,
n by
it's
n matrix.
No,
it's
we
n
just need
square, 4
four.
n square. Yeah.
We
All
just need
n
four.
square is n cube. If you
No,
think about it, you stack them up, right? If you have one square, you stack them up on top, and you stack
no,
the
but
third one on top, four on top. That's an n cube.
but
No, but the height of that
no,
stack
no,
is 4. No?
4 only.
no.
Yeah.
So for any of the index, we need to choose only from 4 of the boundary, I guess, for this index. So we just need 4 extra metrics here.
Yeah,
Not
4
Yeah,
metrics we
but
need.
if,
So,
if you think about if it n by n, let's say if it n in terms of n, right?
mhm.
When you think in terms of n, so one matrix is n by n, right? And you
Mhm.
have n matrices.
No,
No, we have
we are
only
using
4.
only four.
Yeah, but four in this case, what is four? Four is n.
How
Yeah,
can
Is
that
that
be?
is that n is four?
Because we
Oh
are
yeah, yeah, yeah,
having
four.
suffix prefix only always. That
Yeah,
will be
yeah,
constant. Yeah.
yeah, right, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So this was a good approach, and then a bit of optimizations, and then that will be perfect. Okay. So Shashank, your approach.
Yeah, I mean it's not mine. Like I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
went through
That's
the
fine.
solution.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
so I am
here,
not able to unshare, I guess, or have I unshared?
yeah,
Yeah.
you have
You
mentioned.
have one chat. Yeah. You already
Okay,
started.
okay, okay.
Yeah. No problem. Go through
So
this.
first we are creating the matrix, right? For every, I mean, we have 5 x 5, right? 2D matrix I'm creating
Mm-hmm.
for the rows as well as the columns. I mean, for both of them, you can say like rows into rows and calls into calls, and filling everything with -1 to n.
Okay.
And for, I mean, for every coordinates in your minds, so I'll just append at which particular, I mean, what is the column number for wherever your 0 is there, and what is your row number that we are storing. Corresponding to row, I'm storing the column number, and corresponding to column, I'm storing the row number, right?
Uh-huh.
And then I'm sorting that.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm sorting it. But why I'm sorting? Wait, I think let me print the matrix.
Okay, so you have to do that because I think you need to remove that from your qualification space, right? Okay, so this is what -1.
I'll post it, print it here. Yeah. So that. So this is what I'm printing initially, right? -1 to 5. -1 why for the boundary case. So the first example we have, okay, n5 is there, right? So one extra on both the sides I'm doing. I mean, 0 to 4 is a valid one, right? So +1 to that side and -1 to this side. One extra column.
Okay. With this extra row. Okay.
Extra. Okay. I mean, yeah.
Okay. So let's go down and what it actually prints after line 19. Can you just look? No, I'm saying after 9 19 because we'll have all of them together, right?
Okay,
Row,
okay. Yeah.
column.
So let me print final only, right?
Mm-hmm.
Print rows and I'll print calls. Okay. So this is our matrix. So initially our matrix was like this, the above one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I mean this 2 means showing that from there, like you can have a plus of sign 2. I mean 2 on the left, right, bottom, and top. 1 it will extend.
So 2 is actually corresponding to the column 2, what is in the mine. And 4 is corresponding to the row.
In yeah, where 0 is present. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you see your what you are displaying on the standard out, the third row is actually having that 2 column because because it is the rows, right? And the last one is actually the columns, and then it is having the row 4, right? Because you printed rows and columns that way, right? Yeah. So the column will have the row and row will have the column.
And what's the relevance of doing that?
Okay, so if you see on 4 or the lower one, okay, so because it is a column 1, so you have to print the row and you are printing on the second one, okay, 0 1 2. So that is actually the column, but you are printing the row. So you are taking both of them, and same thing you are doing on the previous row, what you are showing the rows, but in that case you are actually going to the fourth column, okay, and then you're actually the 2 is corresponding to the you are going to the fourth row and then the 2 is corresponding to your column.
Fourth column.
Yeah. So rest of the ones all are going from -1 to 5, okay, but in this case only is going from -1, then 2 and 5.
Yeah, because of that 0 index marking. I mean, denoting in the row till what extent. So those are the valid ones, right? -1 to 2 and then 2 to 5. At 2
I think those are the boundaries or those are the things which you don't have to consider. So -1 you don't consider, 5 you don't consider, rest of the things you consider. Right. So that is what I'm looking at it. I'm trying to interpret and think loud.
Yeah, it looks like that.
Okay. So then you are going through each one of them.
Yeah, then going through each one of them. And the left boundary and the right boundary I'm picking from the rows.
Yeah, -1 and 5. Yeah.
And this MXP is to what extent you can expand, like what do you say? I mean, let's say if you are at the center zone, right, how much you can go left, how much you can go top and bottom, that part.
So the maximum part it is talking about something, right?
Kind of, yeah. So this is what left B plus maximum. I mean, on both the directions is checking from that much left to his shrink actually is valid area is calculating kind of, you can say.
Mhm.
And here he is finding the upper bound for it because it's already sorted, right?
Right. Yeah. So you can use binary search. That's right.
Yeah. So upper bound is taking, and this is the upper boundary and the down boundary. Like once you get the index for the upper bound, so what is your upper boundary and down boundary that we are recording, and
Okay.
again
So
with that,
you find looking at the mines, if you
Mhm.
find the upper bound, it means it is not going to look at that mine, but other than the mine. Okay. So
Okay,
therefore, he
the
is taking the upper bound.
between area. So that means it's like this -1 between this it will look right, -1 to 2 and 2 to 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is a column. So therefore,
Yeah. And this is like that what do you say, what will be the maximum plus, right? So whatever earlier it was, and the minimum of this. Left boundary, right boundary minus C.
yeah. So that will happen, right? So if you take the upper bound and down bound, so you
Mhm.
actually have to take the maximum of all of them. And how do you take the maximum of all of them? You actually
By
have to subtract with the row and column in those cases.
yeah.
Yes.
So that will take you to center, right?
Yes, yeah. So whatever is the valid part, it will give. So that will be the maximum part, which will be the valid. Frankly, it's very difficult to come up with this algorithm. It's slightly making sense now, but it's very difficult to come up. I would always go the way the
Abhishek,
prefix. Yeah,
because
yeah.
that I mean it's more intuitive. This is, I don't know, totally manufactured it looks. And
No,
why
no,
they
it's
are
not
sorting it,
manufactured. It's a very smart way of doing it. But right now, yeah.
bit hard to say. Yeah.
Hmm. So, but the upper bound actually is a very good idea.
So upper bound is checking to what extent one can extend on the right. I mean,
Yeah,
in the column. Yeah.
because he is looking at the mines point. Because how we are marking is we are marking all the borders, and then we are marking all the mines everywhere, right? So we are
Yeah.
only taking these coordinates. We are not taking others. Okay, therefore the space also is very less. Okay, and then when we are actually finding now everything is sorted. Correct. That is the way we did it. So when we are putting it, we are actually putting it crisscross, like rows are put to columns and columns are put to rows, and then you can sort them well. So when you sort, you can use binary search. So
So
therefore,
that
you always use binary search and find whatever the area is blank, you can use. So now mine also is going to be a sort of boundary, and it's going to prevent us from going beyond that boundary, right? So
boundary.
whatever is remaining between the border and any mine, closest mine, so that is a valid area. So you'll have to do for all the four sides, and therefore he is doing it for all of them. So you're going from left to right on line 28, and he's finding for the columns upper bound on line 30, 31.
So crisscrossing helps like in what sense? That
Because you're
I,
putting the rows in the columns and columns in the rows.
so what advantage you are getting out of that?
So you can actually sort them, right? So because you're just putting the value there.
Can you annotate like okay?
So if you see on your line 14,
Mhm.
okay, and if you see on your line 14, uh, the line 14 you are taking R and C from the mines. So R will be representing the row and C will be representing the column. Okay, but if you go to line 15 on the rows R, okay, you are taking the rows R, okay, and then you are putting appending the column in that row.
Okay, yeah. So it will make it. I mean, got yeah.
So therefore you are actually saying that that is my border, you cannot cross it. Okay, and what is your border? That will be in the row, it will be the column will your border, right?
Yeah.
You
So
so
it's
you cannot.
restricting to, yeah.
Yeah,
Go
so
ahead.
you're restricting that part. So if you use that, then you can sort them.
Yeah.
Now you can sort your rows.
And columns both. Yeah.
Yeah, both rows and columns. But that's not going to actually, what you say, corrupt your information or give a misinterpretation of your information.
Kind of. I mean, ordering is not maintained, right?
Or maybe it's just putting the columns over there in the rows, right? So it makes sense. Okay, if you are taking a row of 4 and then you're putting the column 2, you know that you cannot go beyond that. And then what you are doing, you're not putting any other numbers other than the borders in this case. So borders are always greater than or lesser than. So -1 will always be lesser than your 2 and 5 will always be greater than your 2 because they are the borders, right? So it will be almost sorted. I don't think so. We have to sort inside the row. Correct.
Columns only sorted. Yeah.
I think we'll have to think more on it, but actually, on a high level, it seems like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, shall we move to next or any inputs?
Yeah, maybe we actually will work on this binary search approach.
Problem, yeah, and then
Yeah.
we can take it further from there. So this is a maximum value of the expression you have to find, and this is your expression like mod of a of I minus a of j, and I mean two arrays are there, a of 2 array of, again you have to do same mod operation of a of 2 of I and j, and the difference of the mod of the indices where your I and j will be within array's length, since the length of the array both are same, right? Okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, this will be that.
Yeah. So this problem, I think we did a similar problem few days back. It's almost the same.
Maximizing the, yeah.
Correct. Something which was more of a matrix sort of problem. So if we think it that way, you remember that we were actually adding a cost also when we were trying to find the maximum sum or maximum difference between
Two
um,
indices.
yeah and it was the maximum sum which we were taking across the rows, and then when we were actually going from a column to other column, when we were moving from row to row, then we are adding a cost. Correct. So it
Yeah,
looks almost similar to that.
in evening session we were having, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So in that case, if we do something like that, so we can have we have two arrays, right? Array 1 and array 2.
Okay.
So we can always take a difference between because we have to find the maximum value, right? So we can always take a difference between each and every indexes. Okay.
Okay, and then add the cost
Are
difference
you
of the,
saying that we should break down the modulus?
Yeah. So
Right.
so here we can decompose this expression and then generate further expression from this, and then take the maximum value which this expression can give. That
Right.
will be the final answer.
so corresponding to one expression you'll have 4, right? A of, I mean, if I is greater than j, if I is less than j for this.
Yeah, so there are total, I guess, three signs. So
8, no?
there will be total 8 cases.
8 cases here. For one you'll have 4, for other 4.
Yeah.
And do
Uh,
8 equations
no, it
again
will be,
boil.
I guess, total is about 3. So there can be two possibilities, either plus or minus for each of the modular sign when we decompose it.
Right.
So then we can just take the common terms. Like here, the common terms will be using the index that is I and j, and then we can make them as one unit, and then we can compute all the values and then take the maximum from them.
Maximum and minimum also both.
Both, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, then the final answer will be difference of the maximum and minimum.
Minimum. But there should be some sort, that's pure mathematical, right? You'll have to evaluate all the equations and then finally boil down to 3 or 2 equations.
Yeah, but the final equations which we get is only 4.
4,
Right,
4
so
not
yeah,
2 you will.
no, I guess it will be 4.
Yeah, it will be 4. So I think the way this
Yeah.
one is, right, if you can divide something like A1, okay, and
Yeah,
I.
so I have made that part.
Okay, go ahead.
I can share.
Why 4? Wouldn't it be 8?
Yeah, it will
No,
be 8, but then
some of the terms will be cancelled.
4
This
should be
will be-
fine, right?
so
It will be common,
Yeah.
some of the terms.
Because
yeah,
if,
some of the
okay,
terms will be common.
Okay,
So
got it. Yeah.
yeah, so first we can see that the modulus value will be the maximum of a minus b and then negative of a minus b. Now, since we have 3 modulus sign here, so each of the signs can take either positive value or the negative value. So for this, I have made, I guess, for the first four values, I have given positive. Then next 4 I have given negative.
Sorry to interrupt,
Then again
Abhishek.
this.
Why have you kept a
Yeah.
maximum in the first line?
So it can be father will be actually
hey, you are breaking, Abhishek. Is it same
so
with
the
everyone?
answer will be if
Yeah, he's breaking. I mean, his voice.
hello.
Yeah, a little bit up. Okay, go ahead.
So if A beta is, then the final answer will be A minus B. But if B is, if otherwise, the final answer minus B can be again, I guess
Yeah, that is
it will
true.
be
But
this. Yeah.
yeah, but should it be maximum? I don't think it is maximum.
Yeah, it shouldn't be.
It should be
it
okay,
will
right?
be,
Maximum is no problem, I think, right?
Yeah,
So
maximum
yeah,
because
this
you
will be negative.
see mod always gives
Yeah.
you the positive value, right? Even if you get the negative, you won't take that.
Yeah.
So you'll have to always return the positive. So maximum
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
Okay.
no, but
Yeah.
what I think Harshit's
Yeah.
question is, if A minus B is also negative and A minus B minus that sign is also negative, then what?
That won't
but
be possible. No?
That won't be possible, yeah, because we already have a negative sign before that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
because mod graph itself is always above this, right? So negative value, it's not possible. I mean, that's why I think he's using max to get even
Now
if
it's
you go.
now it's clear.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so is our expression, and for each of the modulus values, we can either sign positive or negative before the brackets. So I've made some combinations where I have made a positive sign and negative sign before the values, and then when we further simplify this expression, we can get this one together, and all the items we can take together, and all the j terms we can take together, and then after 4 of the terms we have processed here, we can see that the same term will be I guess used for the other
You're
4 terms.
breaking, Abhishek.
So
Is it just me?
Can you mute and then Abhishek, like your mic is
just a moment.
Josh.
Yeah, am I audible now?
Yeah, now it's clear.
You are clear now. Yeah.
Okay, so now after we have calculated 4 of the values, here we can see that some of the values inside the bracket will be repeated. So this value is repeated exactly here, but only the difference is there is a minus sign here and there is a plus sign here. So we can make these two terms equal by making an
Minus
extra
common.
bracket here.
Mm.
Yeah, so this plus sign will become minus, and since we are taking the modulus value, the final answer will be positive and will be so the final answer will be anyways positive. So this is why these two terms will be exactly same.
The negative.
Similarly, yeah, so similarly when we calculate this, uh, and this term, this both terms will be same. Then for this and this, it will be same for this, and for this it will be same. So at last, we just need to calculate the values of these four expressions, and then we need to choose maximum and minimum for all the four expressions. So there will be total 8 variables. Uh, 2 variables will be for each of the for formula, and uh, one of the 2 variables will be taking the maximum value, and one of the 2 variable will be taking the minimum value. And then uh, since it is mod, so the final answer will be maximum minus minimum, which will give us the maximum answer in uh, all the four cases. And then we can choose one of the maximum or the total maximum values from all the four expressions. So that is the idea.
Yeah.
So so in the implementation,
Okay, can you go
I
back?
just
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, just go there, please. 1 minute.
So in your fifth equation, when you take your minus out, okay, so this first term also becomes minus, right? R of 1i minus R of 2i minus I. And this was not
Yeah, this one.
minus originally, or was it?
Yeah, but uh, no, for this expression it is minus.
Acha, okay. There was a minus. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But for this expression it was positive. But
Oh,
since we know the modulus will be always the
got it.
maximum
Okay.
positive value of the difference of the two
Got
terms.
it. Got it. So you're saying that you will
So this,
find the answer for any of the four equations, either from set one or set two, and you will take the
yeah.
negative of that also, and then you take the
Yeah.
maximum.
So yeah. So this part will be the maximum and this part will be the minimum. Then only we can maximize the value of this expression.
Yeah.
That is the final aim. So if
Okay.
this part is maximum and this part is minimum, then only the total value of this expression will be maximum. And then when we calculate all the four values of this expression, we can take the maximum of all those four values, and that will be the final answer.
And what about the below four?
So when we are calculating for this condition, this will be automatically, I guess, used, since
They will
if we
be
calculate,
converted, right, to the same
yeah,
one.
yeah. So, so here, so if we don't calculate for all the, if we calculate for all the 8 values, then we will see that this value and this, okay, so this value and this value will be same. Since to maximize this expression, the first value has to be minimum,
And second, yeah,
and
and second thing,
yeah, it has to maximum.
even the four
Yeah. So
equations that you
minimum,
have. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
So
saying,
to mix, yeah, go ahead.
what I'm saying, even the four equations which you have written, you don't need to work for the four, only two, because two of them will be common if you take the minus. First and the last one, if you take the minus outside, it will return to same as the top one with a minus on the outside.
Yeah,
No.
that is good actually.
Mm.
That's more optimization. Let's go come to the basic one first. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Abhishek. We're actually
Uh,
answering Harsh's
no,
question, right? Mhm.
no, no. I guess if we take the minus sign here, okay. I think it might be more optimized here, but I did not think about this.
No, that's fine.
Anyways,
Okay, so
so
the Harsh's
yeah,
point
so
was like the lower four actually have to be the same as the upper four. Correct.
yeah,
So how do we
Yeah.
prove
yeah.
that?
So to minimize this, to maximize this expression, since it is minimum, so since it is minus value at first, so this value has to be minimum and this value has to be maximum. So the difference will of minimum and maximum will be a negative value, and then negative of negative will be positive.
Okay.
And to maximize this expression, the first value has to be maximum and the second has to be minimum.
Okay. So you'll be maintaining 4 arrays, is it? Like 2 for every array,
Yeah.
where
So
at
yeah. So
one
for
particular
brute force one, yeah. So for brute force one, we can make 4 arrays, but we don't need the 4 arrays since we just need to calculate the values for each of the index. So we can just use variables to store the maximum and minimum of each of the values in the formula. Since these two values are since these two values are see the signs are all is equal, I guess. So this is why if we calculate this for all the index in the array and take the maximum and minimum, so this will be the maximum and this will be the minimum.
yeah, the only the index, like the iterator is different, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
So it will be taken into consideration when we will be doing the maximum and minimum. So this both the iterators will be different then.
Yeah. So okay, got it. So you'll find the maximum and minimum of this what do you say? This configuration, right? R of
Yeah,
I plus R of I minus I, like all the 4 ones, the left brackets.
yeah, all the four ones.
Yeah, and then you will find the maximum minimum both, and once you will take the maximum minus minimum, and the other time you will take minus of minimum minus of maximum, like for the fifth case.
Yeah, but we don't have to calculate for the fifth case
No, you will
since
use that
the
only.
values for yeah. So the idea is same, but again we don't have to calculate it since these two values will be same.
Right. Okay, yeah. Yeah, once we go through the code, it will be more clear, I think.
Yeah, so these are the four variables. So here I've written the formula for which I will be using. So the four formulas which we used, or the four expressions which we got in the previous editor. So for this I've assigned 8 variables, and this A, C, E, G is for the maximum value and B, D, F, H is for the minimum value. And then I am calculating all the four expressions, and then uh, I am taking the minimum and maximum of all the four expressions. And then after I have calculated all this, so for this expression, the maximum value will be maximum of this value minus minimum of this expression. So this is A minus B, again C minus D, E minus G, G minus H. So for all the expressions, we got the maximum value which we can achieve, and now the final value will be the maximum of all the four values which we can get.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a bit confusing. So you take your P as R of 1 plus R of 2 plus I, and
So this one.
you also find the minimum of the maximum and minimum of this. Okay,
Yeah.
can you go back to
Yeah.
the editor once? I just want to see which one of the equations is this, A minus B.
This one.
So this one is the third one, right?
No, first one I guess.
Okay, yeah,
So
addition,
all
right?
the
Yeah,
signs are
first
positive.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
all
the signs are
positive.
positive. So this one.
Okay.
So A will be taking, I guess, the maximum one, and B will be taking the minimum
Okay.
one.
Okay. So
Similarly for all the
okay, and where are you doing the other way, like the vice versa one for the fifth one?
so for fifth one, as I said, we don't have to calculate the fifth one since uh,
Sorry,
this will
not the
be the
fifth.
minimum
Which is the analogous for first one? It is the sixth one, right?
for first one. No, it is the eighth one, I guess. This one.
Yeah, eighth one. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So imagine this as the minimum value. So this minimum value will be exchanged here. So
Okay.
this is just calculating the minimum. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So if we calculate this value, the maximum of this value, this will be directly equal to the maximum of this value also. Since here we are taking the expression minimum of this minus maximum of this, and this is same as finding the value of maximum of this expression minus minimum of this same expression.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
okay. So if P is the max and Q is the main, so the answer will be P minus Q for the first expression. Okay.
Okay.
And for the second expression, the answer will be minus of Q
P
minus P. Since this is the minimum one, and we need to maximize this expression. So this is why the minimum value is coming first, and then the maximum value. And if we simplify this, this will be same as finding P minus Q.
Got it.
And this
Got
one
it.
is what we will calculate.
Yeah. Yeah. We have decomposed this beautifully.
So for
Yeah.
all the four expressions we can calculate, and then we can take the max of all the four values.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you have to frankly do for each and every combination. Initially, if you look at the whatever the expression is given in the problem statement, and if you think if it's a modulo, you'll have to decompose in many ways. But if you really get down and start doing it, it is not that much, only 8 combinations, right? But you'll have to do all of them. The
Yeah.
problem breakdown has to be done, yeah.
Yeah. So there was a similar question here where there 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 was only one array, and then we had to calculate this value. Uh,
Oh, that is
we had to calculate. Yeah. So there was only one array, and we need to calculate this value. So here we had four cases, and then that four cases will be simplified to only two cases. So this question was the extended version of that question. I guess this question is available on Interview Bit platform, I guess,
they
but
might
not
Yeah.
on LeetCode.
Yeah, yeah. Little bit, I don't know, but I think binary search also has that problem. Yeah, okay.
I think even divide and conquer can be used for the single one.
I don't know. You had that optimized version, right? What was that one, Shashank?
No, I was just saying that I just saw it here itself. I mean, these four equations is calculating right in the first approach. So if it takes minus, it will come out to be the first one with a minus sign. I mean, the one which he was doing for the top four and bottom four. He was calculating one, another he was doing minus. Same approach he could have done within first itself.
No, but if we take minus sign here, then a positive sign will come here. Then it won't be same. This is why this four expressions cannot be minimized further.
Yeah. If you take anything outside, then you'll change the other thing. No?
Yeah.
And then you will
And
have more
we al-
complications, right, to implement. We
Yeah,
could
and we
do
already
that,
used
but
the common factor here. So again, we cannot decompose this part.
yeah, maybe, but if you do it, then it will be more complex, yeah, and it will be very difficult to follow in a given 45 minutes interval, right?
This itself is like
That itself is more than 45 for us now.
Yeah. This is too good. Yeah.
if
Yeah,
we haven't practiced
it
by
was very
ear,
good. Yeah, thanks, Abhishek.
tedious
Yeah.
to
Please
do.
share this code, Abhishek.
If you share this
Sure.
code, you actually share this breakdown also.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
comments. That will be
Yeah.
helpful. Cool. Thank
Alright.
you. Yeah. Shashank.
No, I haven't implemented. I mean,
Okay, no problem.